just woken up after our first night afloat here on teleport, and I'm just going to check if there's any water that's come in. Remember last season we did have a bit of a leak, several leaks in the keel which were flowing in here, and we think we sealed them up properly. So I'm hoping that we won't be too much water here. A bit of water in there, but there was a bit there before, and it did rain a fair bit last night as well. So it's kind of hard to tell. But I think we would have got more than that completely coming in overnight previously. So I think it's better, if not solved. We'll just got to start the engine and warm it up for about an hour, get the oil good and hot, and then I've got to change the engine oil in the winter. So when I was turning the engine on then to run it to warm it up, ready for oil change, the engine got really hot, and it turned out that the water pump had stopped pumping water in there to cool it down. So I've just spent the last couple of hours taking the engine water pump apart and putting it back together. I think it should work now. But of course, no sailing season would be complete without at least a couple of days' work on the old engine. But just hoping that's the only thing we have to do this year. Not another one like the last couple of years. We actually got given the Golden Spanner Award, which is perseverance in the face of ongoing and compounding mechanical failures. Seems to be working good now. That's a relief. Now to change the oil. The oil is so hot. You've got to run the engine for a while first to warm it up so that it's liquid enough that you can suck it out. So we've drained all the oil out of the sump, but there's still another probably half a litre or so in the oil filter, so we have to replace that as well. Brand new oil filter. So you put a little bit of oil in that, pouring the oil back into the sump. So beautifully clean and like honey. I can't believe it comes out so black. I noticed the engine was tapping a bit as well, going tap 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 when it was running, and I think that might be caused by these the clearance on the valve sticks. I've got to just check that they're still 0.3 millimeters, which I bet they're not.
We're just stacking up for the boat.
Now we've just got to try and pack all this away on board somewhere.
I think we're going to fit it all in.
So we've been waiting for some northerly winds to blow us south for quite a while now, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon at all. So we're actually changing our plans, and we're going to leave tomorrow morning, bright and early.
Yeah, as soon as we get our cruising permit from the customs officer.
So that's Alaska up here, and the little peninsula there, Nome, is about here, and this is Russia coming in from this side. We were just hoping to go straight down the coast, down to the Aleutians and down into the Pacific, but as you see as we move through the wind for the next couple of days, you'll see there is no sign of any northerly wind coming anywhere near Nome for the next long time. In fact, not at all, ever. So what we're going to do instead, so we leave Nome and we get blown across. It takes about a day to get across here, day and a half. Then we get to St. Lawrence Island, spend a day or two there looking around, waiting for the winds to shift. And then you see the winds start to suck us down south, and they blow us nicely down to these next couple of islands to break up the passage. Then some more islands, and then down to the Aleutian chain, and then we're through. There we go, just fixing up the American courtesy flag. We finally got one. Okay.
So long, Jess.
Right, well this is it. We're just clearing the breakwaters of Nome now.
Woohoo! We're finally leaving, heading south.
Good to be leaving. So we just left Nome about 2 hours ago. We're heading out. Conditions are pretty good, really good. But still a little bit bumpy, and Jess was just sick for the first time. But she thinks it's maybe just anxiety again. I just feel so bad for her. Because she's saying the conditions are not too bad and she's already feeling sick. And I think she's a little bit worried about what the rest of the trip might be like. I'm hoping she gets better.
So we made it to St. Lawrence Island after 24 hours, but for some reason I was unreasonably sick the entire way. We had perfect weather, dead calm at some stages, or motoring for half of it. Even when there was wind, it wasn't anything bad, but for some reason I was just so seasick. I just couldn't get all these bad thoughts out of my head about these previous trips and all these, yeah, it was really horrible for me. And for Chris, because he spent most of his time looking after me or taking some of my watches because I was just too sick to take watch, just completely debilitating. It felt horrible.
But now we're here, and what are we doing?
Now we're here, Chris just made pancakes for dinner. Don't tell Mum and Dad. And we'll go ashore soon and check out St. Lawrence Island. There's heaps of mosquitoes here.
But a beautiful place. This is the front of a walrus skull. I guess that's where those giant tusks come down. This is the first time I've tried this drone out in the real world with a, there's a bit of wind out here as well. Let's see how we go.
We're trying to reach the snow on the mountain.
So we made it to the patch of snow. So we're just gonna chill out, have a music bar and eat a bit of snow.
We're thinking of trying to climb to the top. Maybe not. You can hear the water running down underneath these rocks here, down to sea. We made it to the top. Really windy up here. Pretty cool view though.
We found Chris's favourite little vegetable out here, mountain sorrel.
So we've set up a campfire here. Amazing how easy it is to have a massive campfire with heaps and heaps of wood, even though the nearest tree must be hundreds and hundreds of miles away. But the beach here is full of drifted up trees.
Got some potatoes and onions to cook in our little campfire.
Slightly overcooked. What's inside of there?
Oh, it looks good.
How are you feeling at the moment?
Good, much better.
But amazing, it's really rough though.
Feeling really good.
The dead whale in the water. Just come ashore here in St. Matthew's Island. It looks amazing. Looks like there's a whole lot of bird colonies at the end. There's lots of birds spiraling around in the air. There's probably foxes around. We've seen some footprints already. And yeah, it looks like a really exciting place to go and explore. Can't wait.
This place is just amazing. There's literally thousands of auklets flying above us. It's just incredible. They're all kind of breeding in this big rocky area on the side of the cliff.
You can hear the little baby ones nestled in all the cracks in the stones here. They're all just cheeping, going chip chip chip. I guess these are all the adults flying out and getting food, and then you see them come back and dip into these little holes. There's so many different species here. It's amazing. You've got the little least auklet. That's the little one with the kind of speckly chest. And you've got the cool tufted auklet with the cool mohawk on top. And then the last one, can't remember what it's called, but good old post-production, we can insert the name. I've just remembered it's called the parakeet auklet. Fantastic. Foxes here. We're going to stick the GoPro to a rock and then using just shoelaces as a backup, we can tie that to a lunk of wood that they cut down the burrow.
here to the side of this cliff, sitting pretty precariously, but photographing all these beautiful fulmars and puffins. It's just amazing up here, and the lighting's just perfect.
There's a whole lot of eggs lying around that have just obviously been broken into by foxes, but it's interesting to see how pointy they are. They're really pointy at one end, and I believe that's because of these birds nesting on edges of cliffs, that if you imagine this tries to roll, it doesn't roll off the cliff, it just rolls around in a circle and tends to not fall off.
Dinner!
Looking at the map here, it looks like if we just went inland about a mile, we should come to a river flowing down towards the other side of the island. A mile or two away after that, we get to a big lake, and then yeah, we can maybe catch some fish and see the other side of the island and go exploring.
So over this way somewhere we should find the river.
There's so many lemming holes around the whole island. It's like the island's made of Swiss cheese of all these holes full of lemmings, and you can hear them cheeping away, going cheep, 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 cheep. Look at this lemming highway.
We made it to the lake, so now for a bit of a rest, maybe some fishing.
Nothing except weed and rocks. It's too shallow.
Yeah.
We made it to the far side of the island here. Not a lot here really. In fact, there's not even anything washed up. Kind of boring. But I guess we had to walk all this way to find that out. Now we'll go back. We've just motored to a new anchorage here in St. Matthew's Island, and there's so much stuff washed up. This beach goes for miles and miles, and it's just deep with floats and wood and even amazing old bottles. Look at this one.
This place is so untouched by humans and so pristine, but still when we're walking along the beach you find so much rubbish. It's so sad that we have such an impact on our environment, even in places where we don't live. A rubber float.
An aluminium float.
Plastic float.
Big heavy steel floats.
A foam float. We found a glass float, and then we finally found a glass float with netting on it. They used to put netting on it to protect it so it didn't break. Must be so ancient though. So cool to find.
And then we came across this huge jawbone of a whale. I think it's the bowhead whale, but that's just the lower mandible, lower jaw. Imagine the other half of that. This whale head is enormous. Look what I got! I think it's a salmon. Could be a trout. Massive. So we're gonna have that for dinner, and then I'll catch another one, and then we'll dry it on the back of the boat.
Chris was teaching me how to fillet a fish, so now I'm getting a bit of practice in.
Just found a piece of whale baleen. This is the stuff that the whales use to kind of filter out all the water, and they get just with the krill and stuff left behind on the inside. That's pretty cool. So it looks like these are probably Arctic char. There we go, there's one ready for drying. We're going to try and make some caviar from the char or salmon roe that we've got. So basically just add some salt to some water, and then you dip the eggs in there and make them all go all salty. Then you put them in hot water, and then you do it again, and then you're good, apparently. And then we just pour that into our little container. Look at that.
We're very proud of ourselves. We just made this sushi from just things that we caught and found. So we've got caviar from the 7 that we caught yesterday, and some salmon from today, some mountain sorrel soy sauce, and a bit of rice. Looks so good, can't wait to eat it.
They are fantastic.
So it's a miserable day today at Anchor. It's blowing about 20-25 knots outside, pouring with rain, so we're kind of stuck inside. Chris has been carving bowheads out of
baleen,
and I've been just about to make some bread.
Been writing updates for the webpage and doing emails and just trying to fill in time, really. Just doing a bit of reorganizing here. We just read that hobby horsing, causes of a boat hobby horsing. A sailboat that hobby horses excessively, that is, rears and plunges seemingly in the same spot in the sea, will be exceedingly slow to windward and irritate her crew excessively. We can relate to that pretty badly. Hobby horsing is caused by too much weight in the bows and the stern, but particularly the bow. When the ends are lightened by moving heavy weights to the centre of the boat, the difference in performance is often remarkable and much appreciated by her crews. Which is something Teleport does quite badly sometimes. So we've just discovered we've got a huge amount of weight stashed up in the bow that we didn't really need there. We've just dug out a whole lot of space here in the middle of the boat. heaps of anchor chain and everything. And hopefully our boat will now just go straight to windward, which is something we've got to do in the next couple of days for about 2 days of windward. So hopefully this will be worth doing.
So we're still at St Matthew's Island. We've been here for about a week now, and we're heading to St Paul Island, which would be about a 2 to 3 night sail. So I'm just getting ready to go and taking a few pills as well. So we've got 2 seasickness pills, 2 anti-anxiety pills, and 1 wafer that's meant to stop the vomiting.
Look at grandma, look at all these pills.